Many players have worn the iconic red and white of Ajax, but amongst all the stories of the players who have done so, one of the most tragic is the tale of Eddy Hamel. Hamel was a groundbreaker, being both the first American and first Jew to play for Ajax, and became one of the best players in the world during a successful period for the club. But unfortunately, during the Second World War, his background saw him become one of the 6 million Jews murdered in the Holocaust. This is a story of Eddy Hamel, Ajax's American hero. Eddy Hamel was born on the 21st of October 1902 in New York to parents Moses and Eva, Jewish immigrants from the Netherlands. He and his parents would return to the Netherlands when Eddy was only 6 months old. As a youth, he played for Amsterdam's side AFC. He caught the eye of Ajax, but not initially in the ideal way. AFC and Ajax's training grounds were directly next to each other, and Hamel was feeling mischievous. Hamel kicked balls at Ajax's ground for fun, and ended up breaking a window. As a result, Hamel faced the anger of the Ajax groundsman, who threw Hamel into the river as a punishment. While he and Ajax did not get off on the right foot, Hamel would soon make the short journey to the side. He signed for Ajax in 1922, and it would be the start of something special. He was signed by legendary manager Jack Reynolds, who had helped turn Ajax into one of the best teams in the world, and over multiple spells led them to 8 league titles. Hamel became incredibly popular amongst the Ajax faithful, with his Jewish heritage playing a key part. Ajax ultras are known as Juden, the Dutch word for Jews, due to a strong Jewish community in place in Amsterdam, with around 140,000 Jews living there at the time. As well as this, Ajax's stadium was based close to Jodenbuurt, the city's Jewish quarter. The Jewish community were delighted to finally see one of their own playing for Ajax. Such was the adoration of Hamel that it is said he even had his own fan club, who would line up on one side of the pitch for the first half to be near Hamel, and then switch to the other side for the second half. Hamel was a tricky winger, renowned for his dribbling, and would constantly get assists. He had made the spot on the right wing his own, and would hold on to it for many years. He made around 125 appearances for Ajax and scored 8 goals between 1922 and 1930. But sadly, his career was cut short when he suffered a knee injury he never truly recovered from. Players in the Dutch league were not paid for playing at the time, and this would not happen until the 1950s. Hamel would work as a clerk at a grain wholesaler, but was not yet done with the game. He spent time as a coach of Alkmaar side Alsmaria Vitrix, and imposed the focus on fitness that Jack Reynolds had taught him. He also spent time playing for Ajax veterans team, but sadly, as tensions grew in Europe, Hamel would soon be a victim of the chaos. Hitler's rise to power saw concentration camps opened across Europe, with the aim of exterminating anybody the Nazi Party saw as subhuman, with a focus of completely wiping Jews from the face of the earth. After World War II broke out, Germany occupied the Netherlands in 1940. Restrictions were placed on the lives of Jews, including a ban from sports clubs, meaning Hamel's coaching days were over. However, he defied the Nazis by still playing for Ajax veterans. In 1942, Hamel was arrested by the authorities. The reason given was that he was not wearing his Star of David whilst out in public. He, his wife, and 2 children were deported to Auschwitz as a result. It is presumed that his family were killed upon arrival, whilst Hamel was put to work. Whilst in the camp, he befriended Englishman Leon Greenman, who had survived the Holocaust and later published his memoir of the experience. Greenman and Hamel shared a bunk in the barracks, filled with around 1,000 other prisoners, and they spent 4 months of hard labour at Birkenau. One day, Greenman and Hamel were sent to a room, told to strip naked and form a line. It was soon clear that this was a health inspection to see who was still fit to work. Hamel informed Greenman that he had an abscess in his mouth. Hamel was taken to a side and considered unfit to work as a result of the abscess. Afterwards, he was sent to the gas chambers and executed. Since Eddy Hamel put on the Ajax jersey, only 4 further Jewish players have turned out for the club. He paved the way for these players to turn out for the side and broke down boundaries of both American and Jewish footballers. Eddy Hamel was sadly a man caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. Murdered simply because of his background, he was only 40 at the time of his death, and with his coaching career having only just begun, he could have helped coach Ajax to further glory. Eddy Hamel was adored for his background, but sadly punished for it too, with the football world being robbed of a star due to a campaign of hatred that saw Hamel killed with millions of others. But what he did on the pitch will never be forgotten, with stories of his performances surviving the passage of time, and there will always be a spot in Ajax folklore for their tricky American winger.